So we all know that Justin Trudeau is spending billions of your tax dollars in Ottawa, but do you know who else is spending hundreds of billions of your dollars? I didn't, but Addison Cameron-Huff knows all about it, so that's why he's joining me right now. So welcome to the show. I was stunned to hear what you told me. Who's spending the money?
The Bank of Canada.
The Bank of Canada, I thought, regulated money. I didn't think they were spending it. So how do they get it? Do they just print it up, and what do they spend it on?
They do a lot of things. And over the last 6 months, they're now doing more things than they were ever doing before. They've launched a number of programs that the Bank of Canada has never pursued before.
Really? And do they need government approval for this, or are they independent on that?
Independent.
And so what are they spending those hundreds of billions of dollars on?
All kinds of things. One of the more interesting programs that I haven't seen in the news is directly buying corporate bonds on the secondary market of about 60 or 70 companies that they've selected. And the program is being administered by TD Bank.
And why are they doing that? Are these companies that are in trouble, that need financing?
Good question. A whole bunch of them are foreign car auto loan companies, and then a selection of blue chip companies in Canada. And the
so
eligibility
blue chip,
criteria,
by definition, Cameron, they don't need any money.
You think so? And the Bank of Canada doesn't really explain why. Why should they be lowering interest rates for about 70-something companies? And the criteria for this isn't public, and they also don't tell you which companies they've actually bought the bonds of, or who they've bought them from, or how much they've paid for the bonds either.
But you knew some of those companies.
They
through
publish
your detective work?
the list of eligible companies, and then they publish how many per week they bought of, but not which ones. And they also tell you the total amount they've spent, but not how much they paid for anything.
I'll bet that they aren't buying oil and gas pipelines.
That's also some of the companies that are eligible, companies in the oil and gas industry.
They're eligible,
Yes,
but we don't know whether, in
but
fact,
you
they are.
don't know who they bought them from.
I see.
And they're secondary market. They're not the bonds newly created. They're bonds owned by investors.
So again, have you got any rhyme or reason on this, of why they're doing it?
Lower interest rates for selected companies.
In order to help those companies?
For sure. It overall lowers their cost of borrowing.
And does that mean that this Bank of Canada, which is an agency of the government, does that mean that the government is buying up private sector businesses in Canada?
Buying their debt. And maybe that's okay. But what prompted the blog post that eventually led you to me is my concern is the lack of transparency around this, not describing any of the criteria, and that if you go to the Bank of Canada's website, the first person on the page for the corporate bond buying program is a senior vice president at TD Bank. They say, email this person to find out more about our program. Why is the Bank of Canada encouraging people to contact the fixed income division of TD Asset Management to know about the bonds that the government is buying that they won't tell you anything about?
Well, Addison, we're going to find out now. So thank you very much. 3 minutes. Thanks for watching. Parliament is coming back. A lot of big public issues coming up, and we're going to be covering them all here. So please subscribe to the show. There's a button right up here on your screen.